what's up guys, this is Mike from OGRagebreak Gaming, and I'm going to welcome you to my newest Retro Saturdays Let's Play / walkthrough series. Viewers, I want to welcome you to the game that started it all. Yes, I want to welcome you to Let's Play Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. Well, the game that actually started it all was the original NES Famicom version, which was released in 1987. This is the Pixel Remaster that was released on Steam for the PC. So yeah, I'll be playing this version of the game. So yeah, but if you want to play along with the older versions of the game, you can do so. Just note that there are some things that might have changed. So there you go. That being said, though, guys, welcome. This will actually be my first time playing the first Final Fantasy game on this channel in any of its incarnations. This is going to be a good one. The game that started it all. Great story, simplistic, nostalgia, retro at its best. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into a new game. Now, right from the jump, you get to select the job classes and name your characters. This game doesn't have, like, set characters for the story, you know, like Final Fantasy 2 onwards. Yeah, that set their characters up right from the start. You already know who they are, their names and everything. No, you start from scratch. You're 4 nameless warriors of light. So, basically, you can pick the job and the name. So my main role, of course, for me, I'm going to go with warrior because, well, warrior is man mode, obviously. Man mode. So there you go. Now, yeah, like I said, you can change the job class of your characters. You can go with warrior, really good, can use a variety of weapons and armor. Tanky class. You can go with thief, which is not as good as its later incarnations, I'll be quite honest with you. There is no steal command or anything like that. Although, you can increase the drop rate for items that fall from enemies, though, so there's that, I guess. They don't really get that good until you're able to upgrade these classes later. So thief will be good later on when it's upgraded, but early on, not so much. Monk is good for the entire game. It's just as, like, you know how Final Fantasy 3's Monk is? It is, mwah, chef's kiss. Monk is good when it uses its fists and no weapons. It's the bare minimum, and you barely have to spend that much money on gear for it, so it's really good. Red Mage, jack of all trades, can use both white and black magic, but they can only learn a set level of spells. So, yeah, but they are a bit more versatile in their attacks, so there's that. White Mage is standard. We already know how this is. Your classic healer. Nobody fucks with the White Mage.
Dead ass.
And of course, we got Vivi. Black Mage, who pretty much is just Vivi, but with a plain blue robe. Yeah, he is our crowd control guy for the game. That's pretty much the gist. So there you go. So yeah, my main protagonist character will be warrior. Now, for my secondary damage dealer, I'm definitely going with Monk because Monk is useful long term if you want a physical fucking brute, which is what Monk is. So for my Monk character, I'm going to be naming him you know what, something just came to my mind. Sabin. Yes, well, Final Fantasy 1 characters don't actually have set names outside of Warrior of Light. But yeah, he's pretty much Sabin, just without the blitzes. For my White Mage, I'm going to be naming her something that actually fits. I mean, we can't really tell what gender the White Mage is, but most White Mages in the Final Fantasy games are female. So, that being said, I'm going to go with Celine. There you go. It sounds cute. It sounds cute. Now, for Black Mage, I could just go with Vivi and shit like that, like some other people have done, but no. I only reserve that reference for my Monk. Now, for my Black Mage, I'm going to be naming him Raija. Yes. You'll figure out why I named him this later on in the game. For that, we are done. Class is set. Let us begin. Now, you can go in any kind of format you want. Warrior, or a whole set of 4 warriors, though it's not recommended. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be fun. Opening FMV. The world shrouded in darkness. Ominous intro to start. I like that. Damn. These graphics have sure come a long way. The winds die. Ugh. Did somebody shatter the wind crystal again? No! Wait, sorry, that was another game. The seas rage. Kinda bad, especially since that town is literally right next to the ocean.
Help me!
Oof. Huh? Oh, damn. The earth decays. Okay, come on, give me the good shit. It's getting good. I like the build up. But the people believe in a prophecy, patiently awaiting its fulfillment. A prophecy, you say? When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. After a long journey, 4 young travelers did at last appear, out of thin air no less. In the hand of each was clutched a crystal. And thus it begins. The legend of the crystals, to restore their grace, restore the light to grace. And with that,
let's get ready to rumble!
It has begun! Now, soon as the FMV is over, you start immediately on the world map. Fucking amazing. So this is basically a small tutorial of what buttons that you use if you're using a controller, which I am. So there you go. Fucking amazing. And just like the other Pixel remasters, the world map, it is just mwah, mwah. It's set, but it is amazing. Fucking amazing. Now, just like all my other Let's Plays, I'm going to be using a max money code, obviously.
I like money!
I mean, I'm not grinding for money, especially in this game. In this game, shit's expensive. If you think inflation is shitty in the real world, Final Fantasy 1 has that and says, hold my coffee biscuit. If you don't know what coffee biscuit is, play Final Fantasy 14. I'm trying to make a loose reference. Imagine, I remember how expensive they were when they came out. That being said though, however, let me go over a small little tutorial real quick. Now, your items and key items go in this menu, obviously. For your magic, you can use them from the menu just like other Final Fantasy games. Like if you want to use Cure outside of battle, there you go. Now, you see where it says MP, where all those zeros are at? Well, from my healers, it's 2. We have what's called magic charges in this game. So basically, you can only use your magic spells a certain number of times, just like Final Fantasy 3. And what was shitty about that in Final Fantasy 3 is that you get these good spells, even the shitty ones at the beginning of the game, but you are only limited to like 3 or 4 uses of them. I think that's bullshit. And so I have decided to negate that BS. So what I decided to do was I found the trainer thingy, a trainer mod for Final Fantasy 1, and I'm making it so you have infinite spell usage. So basically, where it says two spell charges for level 1 for my white mage and black mage, if they use, like, let's say my black mage, if he uses 2 fire spells in the same battle without infinite spell charge, he basically has no more spells to use, unless you have like an ether or something in your item menu, which is going to be difficult to get early on. But yeah, now with infinite spell charge, if he uses both fire charges in one battle, normally he wouldn't be able to use fire anymore, but with infinite spell charge, he can keep using it. You see what I mean? That's the gist. I am not dealing with that shit like I was in Final Fantasy 3 Pixel Remaster. Fuck that shit. I dealt with that shit and I did not like it. That was one of my pet peeves with Final Fantasy 3. So there are means to get around that shit. Now, let me go over something else. For your equip, you can equip weapons, shields, arms, body, head, you know, all the standard shit. Optimal is basically the best gear that you have purchased at the time for your characters. The game will automatically equip those, or you can just remove them all outright. You can switch between your characters with the L1 and R1 buttons. For status, you can check your character stats and stuff. Now, for order, you can decide what order that they are in the row. Keep your tank character in the first slot because the enemies will more so go for that character more than your other characters. That's why warrior is so good, because it's the tankier class. For configuration is where we have the best shit in the game here. Basically, cursor memory, whatever battle command that you selected as your last one in the previous battle will be there for you cursor automatically. Well, the cursor will be there automatically when you start the next battle. You can continue auto battle, which we do have in this Pixel Remaster, at the start of battles, which will make grinding better. Default speed, you can walk or you can run. It doesn't really matter which. I'm going to run. You can set your brightness and your volume. Go all the way down, set your fonts and your graphic style. You can also set the BGM type. So if you want to go with the original NES version music, you can do that. But no, I'm going with the arrangement because it sounds better. Now, here's Boost. What Boost does, we got three options here. You can have the random encounters on or off. And you can also set the amount of EXP and gil that you get obtained in battle by percentage. So basically, you can go from a times half EXP all the way up to 4 times EXP. So 4 times the amount of EXP that you would get after a battle, which early on in the game is not that much, but it will be helpful for level grinding. Just don't have it on too often. You don't want to get too over leveled. For gil, always going to be at times 4, because you know will always be helpful. Of course, gil grinding is still shit even with the times 4 gil boost. So you know, there you go. You got your gamepad, keyboard settings, bestiary and shit, all the standard. Quick save is pretty nice. It's like save states, but you know, not that good because once you use them, I think the file is deleted or something rather like that. So there you go. With save, you can save anywhere on the world map, or I think, do save points even exist in Final Fantasy 1? It's been so long since I played Final Fantasy 1, I don't even fucking remember save points even exist. But that's why we have quick saves. So take note of that. In any case, excuse me. Can't even get out the town now. Well, in any case, this is the first town in the game, Cornelia. How's it going? This is Cornelia, the city of dreams. Ooh, sounds sexy. How's it going? The king is searching for the prophesied warriors of light. Those crystals! You must go see the king at once. I just got into town. Damn. Can I at least take my ass to the inn first? Welcome, travelers. I'm told you carry crystals. Is this true? Yep, we got our plot devices. See? Damn! It's just as Lukahn's prophecy foretold. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. Your Majesty, we cannot be certain these are the warriors foretold by the prophecy. Are you blind? Don't you see the crystals in their hand? I can't dismiss this as mere coincidence. Crystal bearers, there is a task I would ask of you. And that would be? Will you rescue my daughter, Sarah? What happened to her? Garland, a knight once in His Majesty's service, has abducted the princess. What? Don't y'all got guards? I asked for your aid in the name of His Majesty, the King of Cornelia. Garland has taken refuge in the Chaos Shrine, which lies to our north. Of course, we did attempt to save the princess ourselves, but Garland is the finest swordsman in the kingdom. We have none who can match him.
Epic fail.
So y'all have all these trained knights, and y'all can't fend off one bastard? Wow, y'all kingdom security must be pretty shit. It's no wonder this Garland guy came up here and abducted the princess, because your soldiers are ass.
How dare you!
Wow. I have heard that you wish to journey to the continent to the north. The bridge leading north was lost long ago, making passage impossible. So, if the bridge was lost a long time ago, where are y'all getting? How are y'all trading with other countries? You know what? Never mind. I'm thinking real world logic here. If you can rescue Sarah, I'll have the bridge rebuilt as a token of my gratitude. Go now, warriors of light. Do not fail me. Okay. Well, mission accepted, I guess. The dancing girl in town knows many odd bits of information. If you find yourself astray, try talking to her. She may know something that can put you back on course. Right. We always gotta have the gossiper bitch in at least one town or another. Our reports say that Garland fled north with the princess to the Chaos Shrine. Right. We'll go do that. Head to the Chaos Shrine. Let's go and explore the town of Cornelia. Let's go over a few things. Now, here at the end, you can rest up for free. Well, wait, sorry. I got Pokemon logic on the brain. No, you actually have to pay money to rest at these ends. So, I like how our 4 characters, once they get out of bed, they all get that. Yay! Right out of bed. Good job, you rested well. Let's take a peek at your reflection in the water. Holy shit, you look like trash. Wash up. Damn. Thank you, mysterious reflection. How's it going? You look like a stripper.
Oh, hell no!
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, true. She's the dancer. You want to dance with me? Thanks, but no thanks. Now, I know she's a prototype of the strippers that we encounter in Final Fantasy 3 to 5. Yeah, remember those characters? Well, I'm sure you guys know of the stripper character in Final Fantasy 4. You know, that you first meet in Baron. Yeah, she literally strips. She takes off all her clothes, so that way her tits and vajayjay is showing. She just jumps in the moat and swims, and then quickly puts her clothes back on. What? They were wilding with the first few Final Fantasy games, I must say. You wouldn't be able to, well, I was about to say you couldn't really get away with that shit in later Final Fantasy games, but we got Tifa, so there you go. Oh yeah, and Lulu, let's not forget about Miss Big Tits. So there you go. But here at the weapons shop, you can purchase some pretty cheap weapons. Let's see here. Let's see, attack +9, accuracy +5. That's good. Now we got the knife equipped on our warrior to start. The accuracy is good, but it's not that necessary, honestly. So yeah, at least not right now at this point. I think I'll get the rapier. The rapier is good because it has attack and accuracy, so you don't have as much accuracy as you do with the knife, but you get a nice little attack boost. So I recommend getting the rapier instead of the hammer for your warrior. Now for your white mage, I definitely recommend getting a hammer because the healer classes can equip these for some odd reason. But you know, it's there. Alright, now for your monk, do not purchase the nunchaku or the nunchucks. Do not equip weapons at all for your monk. Basically, if you do, you will literally, even though it says it boosts their attack, it really does not. Your monk characters basically are at their best when they do not have a weapon equipped. So yeah, get rid of that shit. Get rid of it. Do not have a weapon on your monk, because as your monk grows in levels and gains more strength, their physical attacks will hit so fucking hard that it will negate the need to even get a weapon for them in the first place. They're monks. They don't need weapons. The only weapon that they really need is the one that they're born with. Their fists.
Fight back! Fight back!
So there you go. Now, for the armor here, the chainmail is actually pretty good. However, it does add weight to the character. I don't quite remember what weight does. I think it might slow down their speed, I think. But it's really not that much of an issue in the first game. So yeah, I'll get the chainmail for my warrior and get a leather armor for my monk. Our mages already have plain clothes equipped, so we don't have to worry about that. Alright, now let's go to the magic shops. Now in Final Fantasy 1, you can only purchase magic from shops. You don't learn them via level up like later Final Fantasies. Now, one thing. Remember when I was talking about the MP with the spell charges? We have different levels to them. We have magic levels 1 through 8. You can only learn like 3 spells per level. So with level 1 for your white mage and black mage and red mage as well, you can only learn 3 out of these 4 spells. So pick the ones that you think that would be the most useful. For me, Cure is obviously going to be the go-to because we need somebody to heal. Duh. Dea is good against undead enemies, which we will be running into some soon. But we'll be able to get a higher level Dea spell a little bit later on in the game that's a bit more useful. But, I mean, it's there for crowd control, but there's not a whole bunch of undead enemies. So, Dea is not that useful. I recommend getting Protect, Blank, and Cure. Protect raises defense for a single target, and Blank raises evasion for a single target. Cure, Protect, and Blank are the best. Do not waste your money on Dea. It is not worth it. So, there you go. Now, for black magic, this is where you'll have to think about this a little bit more. Because black mages get some really good spells in the game. Now, fire, sleep, and thunder are the goats. Focus only lowers one enemy's evasion. It is really not that useful. So, yeah, get fire. Sleep will put all enemies to sleep and is really good in the early game for crowd control. Thunder is good as well. Of course, fire and thunder only hits a single target. But the Ara spells, the level 2 fire spells or elemental spells we get, can hit all enemies. So it is really good later on, but the first levels aren't so bad. Now, when you do get the spells, they don't go into your item menu like in Final Fantasy 3. They literally just get equipped to your mages as soon as you get them. So there you go. Alright, so let me equip my characters real quick. Let's see. Damn it. I keep forgetting. I gotta sell that staff so that way I don't end up equipping it on my monk by accident and just end up forgetting about it. Alright, there you go. Equip those. Perfect. Alright, now, there's a couple more things I want to go over before we end the episode. What's up, dude? I once lived far to the east of here in the harbor city of Provoca. These days I hear it's turned into a pirate's den. Ooh, damn. Arrgh! But in any case, item shop. Now, remember when I was talking about inflation a little bit earlier in the episode? Look at this. 500 gil just to get one Phoenix down. 1,500 gil just to get a remedy.
Oh, hell no!
They give you these high-priced items. Now, these are items that in other Final Fantasy games you wouldn't be able to get to like near the end of the or like midway in the game. 2,000 gil for a fucking cottage. It is ridiculous. It's no wonder why they got rid of sleeping bag, cottages and shit after Final Fantasy 4. It just gave you tents, but then they brought back sleeping bags in Final Fantasy 6 for some fucking reason. But whatever. In any case, yeah, stock up to whatever you can. Make sure if you get enough guild grinding up, get at least 1 ether and 2 phoenix downs if you can get them. Get at least 1 gold needle for later and a couple antidotes and 1 echo grass. Definitely get some. But these items, if Final Fantasy 1's items are so fucking expensive, it is ridiculous. Now, in this place here, this is known as the Sanctuary. If you do not have the life spell or any Phoenix Downs on hand, you can come to one of these places here, and I think they have them in every town in the game. Go to the sanctuary. You can revive your KO party members, but it's going to cost you some money. So there you go. Now, before we end the episode, let's do one quick random encounter so I can show you guys the gist of battle. The Chaos Shrine is all the way to the north up there, so we'll go up there in the next episode. But let me show off one random encounter. First enemies in the game here, goblins. Let me take a quick look at their stats. They don't even have that much HP, so it's not really worth mentioning. They have no elemental weakness, so you can just go to town on their ass. Now, you can attack with your physical weapons here, use your magic for your mages, and use items from your item menu. You can also defend to reduce damage, and you can flee from battle, but it's not always guaranteed to work. So, there you go. Alright, now, for your magic, you can just use them off rip, and your mages will just use them outright. So, there you go. I think your mages get a bit more priority, or at least the white mage gets more priority. For some reason, the white mage always seems to go at least a little bit faster than the other classes. So, that's actually a good thing. It makes sense because you never know when you're going to need that heal spell. So, there you go. We also have auto battle, which you can activate with the square button. Auto battle will speed up the battle speed and issue the commands for you. So there you go. When you defeat enemies and you're close to level, you will get a level up, which will increase your character's stats. Very fucking nice. And since mage characters rely on an intellect, they will get stat boosts to those. So there you go. Not very useful for your physical fighters. So there you go. They don't need much intellect. They're brute fighters. That's their purpose. Now, with that's how the battles will be going and shit like that. I'll go more into that next time. But in any case, let's head up north to the Chaos Shrine. Find this Garland guy, kick his ass, and save the princess. Can we get her back? Find out next time. Guys, enjoy. You know what to do. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for Gaming Bits from me. And of course, when you subscribe, be sure to hit the bells to notify my newest uploads. Got something to say? Of course you do. Leave a comment. Duh. Till next time, do that. This is Mike from RageBreak Gaming. Fail. This is Mike from RageBreak Gaming. Gaming! And I'm signing off to my next episode. Have a great day, my bitches and bros. Smell you later!